You're right, guys, what is going on? It's David Clayton from KZR Racing, and welcome back to my F1 Manager 22 career mode for round number 19 today for the United States Grand Prix. If you guys did miss the last episode, do feel free to check out my channel. Playlist will be there. I apologise that this episode is a little bit later up than normal. I had a few problems at home that required me to work extra hours to make up the time I missed, but we're here now. We've got a few bits and pieces to go through since we last came here. What we're going to do is we're going to upgrade a few more facilities before we go into next season. Particularly, what I want to do will be the CFD simulator. That's going to be 12 million. So let's go ahead and begin the upgrade on that. It's only going to leave us with 15 million, so, and everything else. Yeah, so for now, we'll do the CFD simulator first, get that up with the design center and the factory, and then when we build up the money, we'll start with the wind tunnel and suspension and the car parts simulator. So we're just going to do things bit by bit until we get everything up. We're going to how much is the hospitality area? That's 1.8. Weather center 1.5. Memorabilia, not so much of an issue. Yeah, we'll probably just do all of these bit by bit as we go. So actually, for the operation facilities, what we'll do is we'll leave things as they are. The boardroom is going to be another 1.1. You know what? Well, we might as well do the boardroom and that, get that up to scratch, along with we'll do team attractiveness as well for the hospitality area. We may as well start using up some of this budget cap to get some much needed morale boost. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit lost in my words at the moment. So we've got no development points for any of these guys. We haven't actually got any development points for Jack Doohan. I'm surprised, but I guess as you do. Contract will expire in less than 3 months. That doesn't really matter. I'm letting him go anyway. I'm not really too fussed about that. Not much else here at the moment, so let's move ahead. We got something that's come up. Right, we got some poor condition. Yep, so weather center, we'll refurbish that. And what was the... There are a few other ones. Oh no, we just did that. We just did the weather center. What was the other one? ERS. So, the ERS part on hospitality area. Can't really do much about that because that's being redesigned anyway, so that's being rebuilt. So, not much we can do about that. Apparently, though, if I go to the cars, warehouse, ERS. Okay, Sebastian's doing okay on his ERS at the moment. However, Lance Stroll apparently is having issues. So, we'll install that next one on his. Medium and highest. Yeah, everything seems to be okay. We're not. It's 4. Yeah, still okay. No. We are still trying to use the D-pad, it's not working. We seem to be okay on parts still, so that's okay there. Not much else, so we will head into practice for the United States Grand Prix. And at the moment, race forecast cloudy, so there doesn't appear to be any chances of rain from what we've seen so far. So we will skip that. We will head into, skip through, head into the first practice and see how things go, guys.
Welcome to the United States Grand Prix. We're in Austin, but there are no wild cowboys on the track this weekend, just some serious horsepower. It's sure to be a race to remember. The Circuit of the Americas has it all. Twists and turns, steep climbs, fast corners, and a power-hungry Sector 2. Quite a headache to balance, even if teams will be looking at maximising downforce overall. What will happen this weekend? Only time will tell.
Okay, right, we're on the screen for the practice, so same as before, we're going to stick Jack in the second car for practice 1, which we can do. Get him up to speed. And then, I've installed a powertrain part on COTA which has exceeded the season limit and will incur a grid penalty. What part is that? I'll have to see how that goes. Didn't realise I did that, but hey ho. So we're going to simulate this session. Go through to the end. Wow, there's a lot of penalties for everyone. Okay, both Ferraris, both Red Bulls, both Alfa Romeos, as it turns out, both Hasses. And everything seems okay. A little bit down on the midfield, but that's to be expected. Doohan's actually doing pretty well, I'm not going to lie. He's actually surprised me with how close he's been to Sebastian in the practice sessions. So he's doing very well. He's doing very well for our young talent. So let's go through to here, to the second session. Right. It's not so much... We're down on ERS and engine for Sebastian, but I'm pretty confident he can manage those just for this race. As for Lance, what is the car parts that I've... it's probably the ERS, I suppose, but hey ho. So, regardless, let's go. We'll go with Sebastian first. Do his setup. Let's have a look at what he's saying. Oh, he's already in the region for 3 of them, but predictably, the cornering and the straights are what's letting him down. So we got to reverse these a little bit. So, give me a minute to see what I can do. Okay, we've had a little bit of a tinker with Sebastian. I've left his front wing where it is. I've come off traction a little bit more towards maximum, and I've got his cornering and straights just inside the window. So we'll see how that pans out for him. Let's go to the usual. Put on a set of hard tyres. Go for the 22 laps just to be safe. And that will do for Sebastian. Let's see what Jack has said for Lance's setup. Pretty much the same, actually. So, give me a second to sort this out, guys. Okay, same story for Stroll. A little bit more traction, a little bit higher on the oversteer. So, I'm hoping the cars respond in the same way. That way it'll be a little bit easier to set them up. But it all depends, because Stroll's not as smooth a driver as Sebastian. So we will now cut through to the end of the second runs to see where we stand. Stroll I'll leave out. I'm probably going to leave out until the end of the session, obviously, to get his track acclimatisation up. But yeah, we'll stop if anything occurs in between. and see how things go. Right, not much has happened. There's literally just been a few people running wide, but it's just come up with Stroll having a lock-up.
Oh man, that was such.
Let's have a look.
And
Now
it's
have
going
a
to get
watch
worse
of this.
because it says
Looks
multiple
like
cars
Ocon.
involved, and Stroll is going to go straight into the back of Ocon.
There's the hit, and it's crystal clear who was...
And Stroll has retired from the session because he has completely wrecked his car.
The lock-up.
And
Here's the
Vettel's
replay.
apparently had a lock-up as
Taking a
well.
look again, it involves Sebastian Vettel. It's a lock-up, and that could be
It's
costly.
not so bad. It's literally at the top of turn 1, so it's okay there. But
The team are devastated.
Stroll, what are you doing, man? Not like it matters. Stroll's starting at the back of the grid anyway, so as if he already had
Any thoughts on set of options?
he already had a penalty for a car park, but now he's starting at the back.
Copy.
And now as for Sebastian, 86. So, how long we got left in the session?
So Sebastian, we are all okay on fuel, so you can do what you want for speed.
Copy that.
There's a yellow flag. I'm still trying to find out how long I've actually got left because it's VSC, but yeah. I mean, I'm okay with the fact. Well, I say I'm okay with the fact that Stroll crashed. I'm not, but at least he's done it. Actually, had the courtesy to do it in practice rather than in the race. But this is that's seriously going to affect his overall performance in the race this weekend because he's not going to get the track acclimatisation. So I had intended to leave him out after he'd done his setup work, which obviously we don't know now because I've now got to waste more time sending him out early in the next session to find out if that setup was any good. But yeah, 9 minutes 40 seconds. I may as well just call Sebastian in now. He's not going to do any more improvements here. So we'll see what his setup's like at the end of the session, and also proceed to fix Stroll's car as well, which is going to be wonderful. All right, so that's the end of the session. Loris ended up stiffening his car. We are lost, but we spent the entire session on the hard tyres. And it's giving me a good indication to the tyre wear. It's probably going to be a 2-stop because these hard tyres got down to 35% wear in just 27 laps with a crash with a break in between. So it's going to be anyone's guess. It depends how things go, but we'll have to see. Sebastian's at 86%. Don't know with Stroll because he crashed. So I've now got to, before this session starts, fix Stroll's car, which is going to be interesting to say the least. So car parts. Oh, and his engine's all the way down to... His engine's had major damage. None of that's damaged. The engine and gearbox have been completely destroyed in that crash. So I haven't got a choice. I have to put this engine into Stroll's car. I've also got to do the gearbox as well because that's been completely wrecked. So now that's all installed. All the other parts. So, yeah, that's Stroll's car. Apparently he's had that crash and he had no external damage. It was literally just engine and gearbox. So, that's thing. What does he actually have to say so far on his setup? Great, good, optimal, good. Still don't know on traction. Right, we'll just get him out. We'll get him out quickly to get this initial setup looked at. So there's no point in messing around with it. So we're going to... Right, let's book him on a set of mediums. And run plan, 22 laps. It's probably going to be a bit stretched because I'm going to have to, as soon as I send these guys out, I'm probably going to have to put them straight onto light to make the tyres last, but we'll see. Driver options, pace mode, we'll put them on light straight away. And then let's have a look at Sebastian, see what he's saying. Okay, so good on brake stability, great on cornering, but his wings are all optimal. So that's great. Give me a second, guys. See if I can get this tweak to work. Okay, so we've done a few little tweaks just to try and get everything in the optimal range. So I'm hoping that should be the case. If not, it's we need to go back on cornering and braking stability. So that's yeah, that's all good for Sebastian. So let's get everything all set up for here. Driver options, put them on light straight away. So we'll cut through, same as before. We'll see if anything happens, but if not, I'll see you at the end of practice 3. Okay, we just had a VSC deployed for a crash.
Virtual safety.
I'm going to ignore for both guys because actually, it's Norris who's crashed at turn 12. He's locked up at the end of the back straight and gone straight into the wall, I'm assuming. Yep.
Nobody else was in.
So now, I'm pretty certain I just called Stroll in. Yep, it says cancel call in. But I know for a fact he's coming in. But as for Vettel, I'm going to put him on conservative tyres until the VSC ends. And then I'm going to see what the car can, see what he can do on a full lap when it ends. So I'll skip through and see how that goes. Okay, that's the end of practice 3. We did get a good run in with Sebastian. He got up to 10th. Stroll, on the other hand, we got 95% on his setup confidence for Sebastian. Only 58% acclimatisation, and we did try for a second. We did try for a second run after we did that quick run just to get the last setup sorted. But the setup in between, at the end, I'm well aware Stroll has a grid penalty. Half of those he brought upon himself. But, yeah, we got only 2 for that last run, but I'm going to have to revert back to his 83 because that's probably the best he's going to get. It's unfortunate, but again, he brought it upon himself, so nothing really more we can do there. So we're going to go into qualifying, skip through to the end of the first runs and see how the guys perform. See how the guys perform against the Williams if anything else happens. Right, we just had the first runs done. I took control of Vettel's lap, but I think he got caught up behind a couple of cars who were doing their warm-up lap because Stroll's 0.3 quicker. Haven't been left on automatic mode, which I don't believe for a single second. So, as first runs go, that wasn't the best one we could have had. We're still waiting on the Williams at the moment, see where they are. But Albon, Albon actually sit exactly the same time as Stroll did. I think that's actually the first time I've seen anything like that on this game. Usually the times are pretty spread out, but yeah, for Albon and Stroll to match each other, there is an old rule actually in regards to this, that the first car that set the time is ahead on the table. So if you're wondering why Albon's not ahead, it's because of that. But we'll wait for the rest of the cars to finish their runs and see how things go. Right, that's the end of the first runs. So far, nothing's out of place at the moment, aside from Vettel being where he is. That's not anything down to him. He just probably got caught up with one of the cars coming out the pit lane or on their warm-up lap. But everything's pretty much as you'd expect at the moment. So what I'm going to do is, what is it, 133 lap. I'm going to send Vettel out at 3:30. Try and get a little bit of open space between them. Oh, wait a minute, some of the cars are going out now. One of the Alfa Romeos went out extremely early. I'm not going to get suckered into that. I'm going to wait. Actually, you know what? We'll send Stroll out now. Leave him on automatic mode. It doesn't really matter in regards to Stroll's qualifying because he's going to be at the back of the grid anyway. And then give it a little bit of time. Send out Vettel now. Oh, he's going to be in the middle of a whole group of cars, but there isn't much we can do. There isn't really much we can do about that. I honestly thought it was going to be a bit later to send these guys out, but it's now. Sebastian now heads out onto the track with one of the Williams behind him. So we'll skip to the end of the second laps and see where the guys are. Right, end of the second laps now. We're going to follow Stroll as he comes round this long right-hander up to the next left-hander. He's up in the first, down in the second. So it's not looking too promising for Stroll. He'll head to the line now, and he will just improve slightly. Meantime, Sebastian, he's up in both sectors. He's being chased by a Ferrari. Ignore. You're coming to the end of your lap now, bud. So comes around the final corner, and he goes only slightly faster. I'm surprised by that. I thought Sebastian would have gotten a better lap in, but it's probably because of the Ferrari that's been hounding him. Albon does not improve over Stroll. Again, that's another surprise, but I know Sebastian is going to be a lot closer to him than that. Latifi is... Where's Latifi on circuit? Oh, he's only going through sector 1 at the moment, so it's going to be a while before he finishes his lap. Norris sets his time. He's done for the day. That's pretty much it. Yeah, we're all done here. Latifi is not improving, and Latifi's not improving to beat anyone else. But yeah, a little bit disappointing for Sebastian. I thought he was going to do better than that, in all honesty. But caught up in the wrong place with the wrong cars, and that. Because that's the only thing that would have slowed him down, is having that Ferrari behind him. But that's pretty much it now for qualifying. So we'll skip through. We'll skip to the strategy window and see how we do for the start of the race. Okay, we'll go to the strategy windows now. Stroll is starting at the back of the grid, obviously. Sebastian's moved up to P14, but he has got both the Williams around him. And it's a 2-stop no matter what, apparently. That's how bad the tyre wear is around here. I think it was 27 laps on the hard tyres alone. So I'm gonna have a look around some of these strategies and see what we can do. So if you give me a minute, I'll come back with see how some of these strategies are. Okay, I've had a mess around with a couple of strategies, but no matter what, I think the two-stop is probably going to be the safest option to go. We could start on the soft tyres, but I do feel that if a safety car comes out early, it's going to hamper the whole thing. So I'm going to do the medium to hard. That's going to be the safest option for Sebastian, and we need him. He's ideally the best shot we got. Stroll is at the back of the grid. He has... I'm going to do something a little bit different with him. What I'm going to do is I'm going to edit this strategy. We're going to do that. Go to medium on that one. We're going to put him on hards here. We're going to start him on the hard tyres and go medium with him. And see how that performs. We'll do 25 on the hard tyres, 25 laps. That'll give us a little bit more wiggle room to play with in regards to the medium tyre runs. So that's probably the best way we can go about it for Stroll. So we're going to play a little bit safe here. We'll go that way and then that way. Yep, that's probably a bit safer for Stroll. So we're going to do that. Oh, I just messed it up. Yeah. Why read what you're doing when you can just click buttons, buds? Why bother? So we'll do that and then that there, and then update strategy. And we'll go strategy C for Stroll. So reverse strategy for both guys, but I do feel that's probably the better way to go about it. We will put a little bit extra fuel in for both guys, just in case we need to push at any point. But yeah, so that's the setups for the guys. 14th Sebastian, Stroll at the back of the grid. We're going to have to play a bit of a patience game with Stroll to try and get him into any points. Well, I say points, I'll be way optimistic there, but in a good position, so to speak. But we'll see. We'll see. There have been a couple of accidents in practice, so you never know. So let's go to the race and see what we can do.
I don't want to tempt fate, but there are quite a few clouds overhead as we look at the lineup on the grid. And there's Sebastian Vettel. They're in the back half of the pack, so they'll need to work hard if they want a podium finish. There's Lance Stroll, down the grid. They'll be starting the race from the bottom half of the grid, so there's a fair bit of ground to make up. And we're just moments away now. Sit tight and get ready.
So here we go. 5 red lights for the United States Grand Prix.
Lights out,
And we're off.
We go.
So let's get Sebastian onto the ploy. Unfortunately, Albon's got an absolute stonker of a start from where he was. I don't think Sebastian's going to be able to do much about the Haas and the Alfa Romeo in front of him. He's not. But long game at the moment. So in regards to Albon's on the mediums, quite a few people starting on the soft actually. There's 4 of them starting on the soft. But it all depends on Zhou and Magnussen, how quickly they can get past Albon. As for Sebastian, we've got a little bit of fuel, so we'll push straight out of the gate.
You can stop, lift and coast.
Copy.
We'll push straight out of the gate and get him on deploy down the straight. Just try and keep within range of these guys. Just want Zhou and Magnussen to stop fighting each other and hopefully get past the Williams as soon as possible. Down the back straight, we're going to flip back to neutral. You have to be careful as well because we've got to have a Ferrari and a Red Bull behind. And this is... I'm just going to stop here for a second. Hang on. I'm just going to stop for a second. So we have Sainz down here Leclerc's in the mid-plat, so he probably only had a 5 place, but we've got Sainz down here. Perez is down here, along with the 2 Alfa Romeos. The Hasses didn't really make much difference, but a certain someone else who had a penalty is still up here. I struggle to understand this game sometimes. How come everyone else has gotten served their penalties apart from one? Because it happened to Bottas before. I think it was at the British Grand Prix, I think it was. He had a penalty, but he didn't end up serving it. And now the same thing has happened with Verstappen up here. So, yeah, I find that a little bit odd, in all honesty. But for now, we'll leave the guys to it. It's just certain little things about this game sometimes are a little bit off in certain aspects, but at the moment we're going to hopefully see Sebastian catch up to Albon at least, as Albon has already got Magnussen fighting him in the last corner, whereas we've got Sainz here. I'm not going to fight this too much with Sainz. I'm going to let him go, but Magnussen's already gotten past Albon, which is handy. So now we just got to follow the Ferrari and the Alfa Romeo, and then hopefully we can get close enough to the Williams to overtake him. But we're going to be managing the tyre wear just a little bit as well, guys. We're not. This is going to be pretty hard on the tyres this race. So we'll go on to Sebastian now as he comes up to the back straight. As Albon's already going defensive against the Alfa Romeos, so this is going to be interesting to see where they go. Got dropping back a little bit because the Ferrari and the Alfa Romeo are a lot quicker than us, and Albon got the better start. So back to neutral to save deployment. And Albon is still holding up Zhou in the Alfa Romeo, but Zhou has just gotten down the inside into this hairpin, so that's another place booked in for the Alfa Romeo, unless Albon decides he's going to keep fighting it. As you can see, still fighting, but Zhou's got the inside line down here, and that's the end of that. Zhou is through. So now Albon's got Sainz for company, and then we are just behind, providing this Alfa Romeo leaves us alone. Go and defend down the straight as we go down here. We've got Haas for company as well. Back to neutral. So now, for us, I just want to be able to stick with the DRS, provided Bottas. Bottas is just going to make this even more difficult than it needs to be. And we're out of DRS range already because of that. And Bottas is going to get DRS off of Sainz ahead because he's already going to catch up. So
that was a position gained for Alfa Romeo.
We'll go straight on to overtake.
You can use energy.
Go on to overtake because we're going to be right up behind. Well, we're not right up behind the Alfa Romeo, but we are going to get DRS at the very least. We're going to break the toe of the Haas, which is going to invite the Red Bull in. And now, oh, we got a yellow flag already. So, what's happened here? Something's happened. Oh, Hamilton spun out. Hamilton spun out. He was in the lit. He was in second. And, oh, slow speed spin.
The car's just gone.
Oh, Hamilton was in a good position there. He was in P2 leading that train ahead of his teammate, but now he's got a massive amount of ground to make up for that. He's dropped, he has dropped behind us. There he is, actually. He has dropped behind Sebastian. So now he's going to be charging up to the back of us. I'm going to go on to defend down the straight. We are still getting DRS. Albon does not have DRS, but he's still going to hold that place just by moving his car ever so slightly to put off the car behind. The general trope here. I just want to stick within range of these guys and get into a train with Albon and stick with him, and then put Sebastian on light to conserve his tyres a little bit. Just to help me in the long run, because I do feel Albon's going to be a lot heavier on his tyres than what we will be. But what I would appreciate is if Schumacher left us alone. So we're going to go on the overtake down this straight. So hopefully when the DRS flicks open and Bottas goes for a move on Albon, which of course he's not going to do. So why is it so difficult to overtake Albon? But Sebastian is not faced by that. He's gone for a move on Bottas. He's literally just gone for it on Bottas. He's going to try and hang it round the inside. Round the outside here, not quite. Is he going to stick with him down the inside? He is. But Bottas is going to have the inside for the next right-hander. Oh, that's so annoying. But Stroll, I've left Stroll to his own devices, and he has gotten past Latifi. Those two are right at the back on their own, unsurprisingly. But Stroll has gotten past Latifi by himself, so that's one Williams out of the way. But wow, Vettel actually went for it on Bottas down the straight. So we're going to go on to deploy it, onto overtake again. Let's see if we can do anything. Bottas is now alongside Albon, so this is going to be a bit easier for us. As now Perez has joined us. We've had a look on Albon, but unfortunately Perez is now going to go around the outside and make this a little bit more difficult than it needs to be. It's a little bit annoying that. We've got another yellow flag. We've stuck with the first 5 laps, and already we've had 2 yellow flags. So someone, that's Perez overtaking Sebastian. Not too concerned about that.
Oh, did someone run wide there?
Oh, it's just Sainz running wide at turn 3.
Okay, here's the Ferrari.
I was just going over the curb there. That hasn't really affected him. In fact, it's actually gained him some time. So it's not really a downside there. So Sebastian's now coming up behind. Hopefully Perez gets Albon and pulls us through at the same time, because we're reasonably close. We're reasonably close, but it also just depends on whether the game does this favourite Albon thing of nope. Perez is going to go clean past. And are we going to get close enough to make a move? Not quite. But we are on the back of Albon, and that's the main thing I wanted. So we just need to worry about getting past Albon now. When we get past Albon, that should be a little bit easier for us to hold station then.
Just gained by Williams.
Says Latifi overtaking Stroll, but I'm pretty no, he's not. So I thought Stroll had gotten back ahead of Latifi, but that's just me hoping. So I think Stroll's broken the DRS of Albon. So let's see how it goes. Vettel opens DRS, but he's too busy defending. From the Haas behind, he's going to make the wrong move down into the inside, and that's going to invite the Haas in. Sebastian should have stayed where he was. He should have stayed where he was on the outside, because now this is just going to invite Schumacher to make this more difficult than it needs to be. So we've got Hamilton back down here after he spun out a couple of laps ago. Really don't need you doing this, Sebastian. I know he's your prodigy and all, but we need to be fighting Albon, not having a fight with... is it Schumacher or Magnussen? I think it's Magnussen. No, it is Schumacher. I just saw the helmet. So let's see how this goes.
That's it.
There's the DRS. Managed to keep ahead of Schumacher, so...
Aston Martin with a great
And now we're
break
going to
there.
get the
They picked
slipstream
up a
down
bit.
right past Alexander Albon and in ahead of the Williams. Excellent from Sebastian. So now we are going to have...
Nicely done.
Here's the replay.
we'll look at the replay of
Let's have a
that.
look.
So
This was the
Sebastian
Aston Martin.
is going to get the DRS. It boxes in Schumacher, and that allows him to power past Albon with no problems whatsoever. But
And there they go.
we're coming up to the end of the lap, and we've got another DRS zone on the home straight. So I'm not holding out too
Looks
much
like
here
Aston Martin
for
have just gained a
Sebastian
race position. Let's have a
down
look.
this straight, as Stroll
Let's
has
have a look.
re-overtaken
It's Lance Stroll.
Latifi. So for Stroll, he's still got a bit of fuel saved up, so I'm going to get him on push to get him away from
No
Latifi.
saving required.
Yep.
So we'll let Stroll do that. Meantime, Sebastian, he's really low on ERS. I had to use a lot of ERS to get him ahead of Albon. This is going to be a problem now. We need to defend our position here, which we do. And there's another yellow flag. But as we go down here, we're going to put Sebastian on harvest just to try and save some ERS.
Just need to charge up.
And oh, it's Ocon running wide in the same place Sainz did, so that's not really an issue. So get Sebastian saving his ERS through here, and then coming down to here, we'll stick him on neutral. Get him on defend for this back straight. We're going to have a couple of cars coming at us at a rate of knots. I think Albon's going to power past us no matter what we do. Sebastian, can you hold out down the inside? Just about, not quite. No, Albon's got us again, unfortunately.
Still a lot to play for.
So I'm not...
And there's an overtake from Williams.
Latifi, I just saw in the background, has gotten past Stroll as well. This is going to be a reoccurring theme, as it seems, throughout this race. And for whatever reason, Sebastian's not saving ERS for some reason, so I'm going to put it back on neutral, as it's not making a difference. He is still within the DRS range, so we'll let the DRS pull him along. That'll... in turn keep Schumacher at bay, hopefully. Providing Sebastian, he's going to go around the outside. Oh, no. That didn't quite work out. And that's just going to give Albon enough of a gap
You're in a good place.
to break the DRS. What a surprise. Oh, this game and its Albon favouritism is really starting to get on my last nerves now. There was no reason for it to do that. Absolutely none. Because now this is just going to give Albon all the cushion in the world. And he's using less tyres than us as well. Which is making this even more annoying. I hate you, Albon, sometimes. I really do.
Let's take
Okay,
a
we've just
closer
had
look.
another
Now
guy
we've
spin
seen
out. It's
Valtteri
Valtteri Bottas chasing up to the back of that group, and he spun at the last corner. But I think he got going again just in time. Yeah, he did. So, as you can see, I've put Vettel on light on his tyres and harvesting his ERS. So, I'm just going to let those guys fight it out with Albon. There's another yellow flag that just popped up briefly.
I think
but-
someone's run wide.
It's Zhou running wide. That's not a problem in this case. So for now, though, Sebastian's got enough ERS stored up again. So
And
let's
a
put
new
it back on
position
neutral.
Just gained by Williams.
So yeah, that's pretty much sealed our race for Albon, unless he makes a mistake. But we're not beating him this race now that the game has just pretty much finessed us away from him. So now we're going to be stuck here racing Latifi at the back of the grid for
Aston Martin with a great play there.
for the
They've
remaining
moved up a
time.
place.
Because yeah, Schumacher's now gotten past Albon, but we're 3.5 seconds behind Albon now. As everywhere, the soft tyre runners are now making their pit stops. As
Big lock up there.
oh, there was a lock-up from Schumacher,
Let's
so
take a
we're
look at the
we're back
replay.
with Schumacher
Right,
again.
Watch this. There's Schumacher. Oh, and there's the lock up.
And that's just giving Albon a free position.
Tsunoda is pitting this lap.
And for whatever reason, Stroll and Latifi have caught up to Vettel. And Albon is all that distance. What has happened to Sebastian? And what's going on with Albon? Why has he gotten this pace all of a sudden?
Seems to have been a lock up.
Why is Albon all the way up here? I know that guys are pitted, but look at this distance. How's this worked out? How?
Doing a good job.
What has gone on with Sebastian? Why is he so?
Looks like
Why has he
Aston
lost all this
Martin
pace
have
all of a
just
sudden?
gained a race position.
We've gone from trying to get past Albon to now ending up back here fighting our teammate and Latifi. Why has this happened? Right, Albon has just made his stop off his hard tyres, mediums. Sorry. Stroll has been on a roll, actually. He's gotten past Schumacher. He's been fighting him. And now Sebastian is in between both the Haas cars. So I'm going to leave Stroll going. He's doing pretty well at this moment in time. But what I'm going to do is get Sebastian on push and overtake because I want to get him past... I want to get him past Schumacher. I'm going to put Stroll on defend. Unfortunately, I don't think Sebastian's going to be close enough because of Magnussen behind. And Magnussen's going to try and stick this through. No. So, go back to neutral for both these guys. But at the moment, we were slowly closing on Albon before he came into the pits. So, I don't know... in the meantime, what I want to do, but I think what I'm going to do with Sebastian is I'm actually going to call him in now to try and cover off see, he's 13. They're right behind us, and Albon's just going to gain because he's got all the... Yeah, I think I'm going to have to. I think I'm going to have to call Sebastian in now, so I don't lose so much more time. So we're going to have to call him in. Pit this lap, and get him in.
Okay, box.
And he's coming in now. So where's? Oh, Albon's going to get past us. Albon's going to get past us no matter what we do. So we come out. Pit stop's completed. We've still got. I know Latifi's right behind us, but let's get Sebastian going. He's got plenty of fuel to work with at the moment. Meanwhile, Stroll still nowhere near his pit stop yet, but he is still holding on to the back of back of Schumacher. Going to keep him going until his pit stop window. He hasn't got DRS for some reason, but he's still going to go for the move regardless. Down the inside, and Schumacher locks up and goes straight on, and that has caused him to hit the barrier. And it's a safety car. It's a safety car. Right, I've already pitted with Sebastian, but we are definitely pitting with Stroll now. There's no reason not to. So we're going to get him in. Cancel. Hit this lap.
No DRS.
And conserve.
Car in the wall.
Conserve. Harvest. Conserve.
There's been a crash.
Conserve.
Sounds like a single car.
Harvest.
Let's see what happened there.
Yeah,
Right,
Schumacher
watch this.
was racing
There's
us.
Schumacher.
We got up the inside, and Schumacher misjudged his braking, locked up, and
There's the crash.
right where Stroll and Norris had their crashes in practice, that is the end of Mick Schumacher's race. So this is going to help Stroll out massively, this safety car.
Yeah.
This is going to help Stroll out massively because the safety car is going to slow everyone down
Copy.
to the Delta time. Stroll's going to get in and out of the pits before Albon can get anywhere near him, and Vettel's going to be on the back of him. Vettel's going to be on the back of them as well. So we've closed right up this whole field. As Stroll comes in, Albon's coming. Oh no, Albon's coming through the final corner. He's going to get ahead. Is he going to get ahead? Come on, Stroll. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, Stroll. I need you out of the pits. Is he going to get ahead of him at the line? Yes, he is. Stroll does get out ahead of Albon. So that's helped out massively for us. We're going to charge up the ERS on both cars. And now, it's just a case of...
Oh, there's a spin.
And
Here's the
Ocon
replay.
spun under yellow
Now
flag
have a watch of
conditions
this.
now as well.
Looks like Ocon.
Through the S section.
That looked like a very nasty spin.
That's it's all happening now, but we've managed to get one of us back ahead of Albon, and it is Stroll. That's not the person who I thought it would be, but I'm not complaining. At least that's going to help out Sebastian's race a little bit. Yeah, I don't know what happened to Sebastian's pace midway through that first stint. It just disappeared all of a sudden. Can't really understand why that is, but Hamilton is ahead of us. So we've got Magnussen, Ocon, Zhou, Norris, Ricciardo, Perez, Bottas. Tsunoda's having a good race. He's up in 7th, behind Alonso. And then we got Russell, Sainz, and Gasly is up here in P3. He's right behind Leclerc. So he's benefited the most. Speaking of benefiting, here's someone who had a penalty and didn't get to serve it. So I don't understand how that happened, but meanwhile, we'll come up to the end of the safety car period. Hopefully we catch up to it in time and see what we can do on the restart.
car.
The safety car's now coming in, and we're literally just in sight of the safety car, and Vettel's not going to get any closer to. Vettel's not going to get any closer to.
Yeah.
So get these guys set up and ready to go. They've got plenty of fuel to burn.
Happy to push.
So, unfortunately, we do get up to the back of the safety car with Stroll. So that's beneficial.
Yeah.
Let's go on to deploy now. And as for Vettel, he's caught up to the back of the safety car as well. So let's get him on deploy. See if Sebastian gets his nose up the inside of Albon. He's thinking about it, but here we go. So we're back onto the start of the race. Vettel, Stroll's managed to get a decent run away from Albon. Can Vettel do anything though? No, he can't. So we're going to go back to neutral for him. Save his ERS, but I'm going to keep Stroll on deploy for a little bit longer. And then go back to neutral now. Just to get a decent gap away from Albon. And then as we come up to this section here. Go full deploy, and oh, come on! Why would you do that, game? Why would you allow Latifi to get down the inside when everyone else is single file? Why would you do that? Well, Sebastian's managed to get the toe away.
That's it.
Being right behind Albon, so that's beneficial. Is he going to go for the move down the inside? He's going for it. He's down there. Oh, he's going to keep him on deployed, see if he can do anything. Nope, Albon's going to shut him out. But Vettel's not going to let Albon get away with him. Stroll used a little bit more ERS to keep on the back of the Mercedes, so at the moment, Stroll's doing okay. We want to try and get back in the DRS zone as quickly as possible and stay with these guys. But I'm going to not touch Sebastian down this straight because I don't want these guys burning their ERS all in one go. Although Sebastian is right in the slipstream of Albon, but again, with no DRS, it's a little bit difficult to get close. Sebastian moves back to the outside. He doesn't make the same mistake going for the move this time, because otherwise that would have just thrown us out the window completely. But at the moment, Stroll's got a decent cushion over Albon. He's 1.6 ahead of him. So I just need Sebastian to get past Albon and make some headway. We'll shut that down, and we're going to go on to overtake mode for Sebastian. So I want him to try and get past Albon down this straight if he can. He's on overtake instead of deploy this time, so hopefully that might make a little bit difference. He's getting closer, not quite. So we should get DRS on the next lap. Stroll, meanwhile, is doing pretty well to keep up with this group. He's dropping back a little bit, but he's still within range. But the start of this lap is when the DRS comes online again, so we'll leave Stroll as actually no, we're going to get him on overtake, and we're going to leave. We'll leave Sebastian for now. Just build up his ERS a little bit, just sitting in the slipstream of Albon. Meantime, Stroll is just on the fringes. It's going to be a bit touch and go whether he stays in DRS or not. I'm hoping he does, because that way he's going to get a little bit closer to Hamilton and Ocon while they're fighting. And also it keeps Albon out of reach as well, which I'm more than happy with. So, he's just dropped out. He just dropped out. Not much we can do about that, but there is something we can do about Sebastian. So I'm going to get him onto overtake now. He's going to get right up behind Albon coming out of this hairpin. And now we're going to go up to the DRS line. Open the DRS. Albon's going to move to the inside. And Sebastian, is he going to go any bit further? No, he's not. He's just going to sit behind him because this game won't let us overtake Albon, as per usual. Now that Stroll's dropped out of the DRS of Hamilton, he's going to fall back into Albon's clutches. Now you watch. You watched it. You watched the game do that to me. It just will. We'll stick Stroll on deploy, and we'll put Sebastian on overtake. He is still in the DRS range.
Use energy. Copy.
Use overtake a little bit down the straight. Right, back to neutral for Stroll. Come on, Sebastian. No, you're just not going to make the move, are you? Of course you're not. Yeah, I'm going to leave Stroll be. He's far enough ahead. He's 3 seconds ahead of Albon, so I'm not worried about Albon catching up to him. I'm just more worried about getting Vettel past Albon and being done with this. So I'm going to follow Sebastian through here. He's got more tyre wear than Albon as well, so no reason for you not to be overtaking him, Sebastian. We just want to get past these Williams cars and be done with it. So here we go again. Going to go down. Albon's going to pull towards the inside, and Vettel's just going to stick there yet again. And this is just going to invite Latifi to attack us. Because, so easy. It's so easy, but this game just won't let us be ahead of Albon, no matter how hard we try. It just screws us over for absolutely no reason. And now all of a sudden, Albon's got a burst of pace on and he's pulling away. He's now, what, half a second ahead. Yeah, I'm not going to touch Vettel's ERS this time. I'm just going to let him do what he needs to do. And pull away from it. Pull away. Yeah, he's just going to put... Yeah, doesn't pull out all the way. He can pull out all the way and go for the move. I know for a fact he can in that range, but the game won't allow it because of this Albon favouritism that it's got going on. I mean, we've been in this position enough times to know it's the truth now. There's no, like, getting round it. This game does not want Albon to be beaten by us. And it's just doing these stupid little things to ensure it gets ahead of us. So, right, we're going to go full deploy this time. We're not wasting our time with overtake. We're going full deploy. Get right up behind Albon. You've got everything going for you, Sebastian. Full attack. Get past this Williams. There's no reason for you not to. There we go, finally.
Drop back a bit.
And finally, we get ahead of Albon. But notice how I had to switch up all three things in order for that to work. In order for us to get past, in order for us to get past him. And now as we come out this corner, we're going to go on full deploy and we're going to get a nice gap through this corner. Yeah, nice little gap as we go through here. Back to neutral. Now it's just a case of making sure Sebastian sticks ahead of Albon. So now let's watch Albon try and overtake Vettel. I bet it'll be a whole lot easier. Watch. Outside. Yeah, I'm just waiting for it to happen. I'm just waiting for it to happen, but we'll have to see. But we got Sebastian ahead of Albon at least. Stroll, in the meantime, is in his own little world, doing his thing. And then obviously we got the packs ahead of us, but just want to make sure we stick ahead of Albon at least. So we're going to go on defend. It's probably going to be inevitability that Albon gets past us down this straight. So much easier than what we did. So yeah, we're going to pull to the inside. Albon's going to do what we should have done and stay there, and he's just going to power past us with no efforts whatsoever. Notice the difference. I can't. The difference is right there on the screen, guys. I can't make it any more blatantly obvious than this, that Albon has got hacks in this game. I don't know what more you want me to say. Okay, we just come through a few bits of pit stops here. Stroll's up in 7th at the moment, but he's got a ways to go on his run. Meanwhile, Albon's just pit onto the hards. We've still got a couple of laps left in our stint, but we are currently in a big train of all these guys here. And this is only going to allow Albon to catch up to us. So I'm going to have to bite the bullet and put probably bring in Vettel, to be honest. Bringing Vettel earlier than I would have liked. Actually, you know what? We're going to stick to the plan. We're going to stick to the plan and we're going to go until Vettel's scheduled stop. Right, Vettel's just come out of the pit lane after his stop. Unfortunately, Albon has gotten ahead of us, but we are going to be on much fresher tyres once they heat up. Also, I've saved a little bit of ERS for Sebastian on that in-lap as well, which contributed to how far behind he is, which is 4 seconds. But I'm hoping that eventually Vettel will slowly catch up to the back of Albon. In the meantime, Stroll's slowly going backwards through the field. He did get up to 6th at one point, but the pack is slowly starting to catch him, primarily because he's down on his tyres. And he is not due. His pit window still isn't open yet. But I'll give him one more lap. And then we will, at the end of this lap. Oh, he's going on to a set of mediums. That's why. Should have paid more attention to what I'm doing. Right, so put him onto a set of mediums. And
Box this lap.
Wait for him to come in. So, in the meantime, he's got plenty of ERS, plenty of fuel. We'll leave him on pushing for his fuel. In the meantime, Vettel is still lounging around here. All three of them on the hard tyres, but when Stroll joins them, he's going to be on the mediums. He's going to be on much quicker tyres. So, and plus, Sebastian's got more room to push his tyres because he's been out longer on the mediums. So, it's not much of an advantage, but I'm hoping that when Stroll comes out from his stop, he will be in a position where he fights Albon enough so that Vettel catches up. So, we'll have to see. Stroll's now coming out the pit lane now. Albon has just come out the final corner and Stroll is going to get ahead of him. So he's on the quicker tyre that's going to go to the end of the race. And he's also gotten ahead of our chief rivals. So Stroll's going to push away now, hopefully. Meanwhile, Sebastian has been pretty stationary at 4 seconds behind 4 seconds behind Albon. So unless something happens, I don't think much is going to change in regards to this result. So we'll have to see. Okay, we just I was just going through the skip on Sebastian. It's come up with ERS, but we already knew about that. We're going to change that and the engine after this race. Very worn out, actually, especially since we're going to Mexico. I want to have a fresh engine in for there. But at the moment, Vettel has slowly but surely been eating into Albon's lead over him. He's got it down to 2.8 now, 2.9. Albon has completely dropped away from Stroll. The medium, that's the difference between the mediums and the hards, that Stroll's actually managed to pull out a decent gap. The safety car definitely played out for Stroll there. It definitely played out to his advantage. But Vettel, for whatever reason in the race, just lost all his pace. But in regards to the rest of everyone, this is the massive grid that we've dropped behind. Tail-ended by Russell, then Ocon, Tsunoda, Magnussen and Alonso, with Norris leading it. So all these guys are fighting for 10th place, the final point. And then ahead of them, just up the road, as you can see, Zhou has just got down the inside of Ricciardo into the final corner. He's going to open DRS and pull ahead, so I'm glad we caught that. And then in the background, We got Alonso is going to go for a move on Norris. He goes through, and that's going to pull Magnussen through. He's going to poke his nose down the inside, but no, Norris just closes the door on him. Yeah, so we just cut onto a couple of good positions there. And then we got Hamilton in his own little world in 7th after his spin. What could have been for him. Bottas is here on his own as well. And then Pierre Gasly, driver of the day, running in the podium, but then the pit stops have obviously shuffled him back down. He's comfortably ahead of Bottas. So that's going to help AlphaTauri in their constructors fight. And then up front is the usual suspects. Perez just lingering behind Carlos Sainz, who in turn is quite a ways back from Leclerc. And then Max, luckiest MFer in the world, Verstappen, had a penalty, didn't serve it, and is now reaping the benefits of it. So, yeah, that's pretty much the race order so far. Not much has happened outside of what's been going on in the midfield. Stroll is doing his thing on his own, and probably difficult to say because Stroll is slowly starting to go match everyone else on tyre wear, so I better put him on light so he gets to the end of the race. Okay. We've still got 11 laps to go, so I want to make sure he actually gets there, despite being on the mediums. In the meantime, Vettel is now 2.5 behind Albon. He's slowly reeling him back in. So, hopefully, this could pay dividends later on in the race. Hopefully, with a few laps to go, we may be with a chance of racing Albon at the end. Right, we're winding down into the last few laps, and Sebastian Vettel is nearly within 1 second of Albon. He's 1.4 behind him, but we have got the leaders coming up behind us to lap us. So I'm half tempted to ask Sebastian. Albon saved his tyres a little bit more than what we have, so the tyre wear is equaled out a little bit, but we are almost there. We just want Verstappen to get past us with little to no problems, and then hopefully slow down Albon enough for us to catch up to him. We're now 1.2 behind Albon, so we have got the pace to catch him. But as you can see behind us, there's the leader. We still up and let him through. That's going to cost us a little bit of time. Drop back to 2.3, but Verstappen is going to catch up to Albon and do the same to him. There's the slowdown, and here comes Sebastian. Has that done enough? That's given Albon about a tenth or so. So we got hurt a little bit more out of that. So I don't know if Sebastian's going to be able to do it. We've got one less lap to do it as well. And I swear to God, if Albon gets DRS off Verstappen, I'm actually going to lose it. Watch Albon's wing. No, he doesn't. Okay, I can handle that. So we'll skip through a couple of laps and see how Vettel does on his own, but we've got another leader coming up behind us just as we get close to him again. So this is how the game's going to ensure we don't get past Albon in this race. Wonderful. Right, I spoke too soon. We're coming on to start of a new lap, and we are within DRS range of Albon. Thank you very much, Charles Leclerc. We are now within DRS range of Alexander Albon, with only a few laps to go. So I'm going to stick with this until the end and see what Vettel does. He's going to look up the inside. Ooh, thought a little bit better about that one. But yeah, now we're in striking distance. We are in striking distance now. I'm going to leave Stroll to his own devices. He's going to make it to the end of the race, no problem, with only a few laps to go. But now we are on the back of Albon. We are on the back of Alexander Albon with about 4 laps of the leaders to go. But I'm not going to expend all the ERS I've got doing this immediately. I'm just going to try and stick with Albon until the last few laps and then go for it right at the end. That'll probably be the best scenario unless Vettel makes a move by himself. He pokes his nose out to think about it, but thinks better of it. Not quite. Pretty much pushing Albon through the corner. But we're going to be fighting Albon to the end now. Stroll's got 16th place on lockdown, so he's all good. Unless we get a very late safety car period, but I highly doubt that.
It's 4 to go.
That's 4 to go for the leaders, but we've only got 3 to go on that note. So, come out the corner. We're going to watch Sebastian tail Albon all the way up the straight. I'm going to stick with this till the end, but I think he's going to have a half-hearted look again into turn 1. But I think what I'm going to do is when they're in the DRS train, I'm going to put Vettel onto Harvest just to get a little bit more ERS back while being pulled along with the DRS. That's probably the best shot I'm going to have. In the meantime, I better do this now. I'm going to put Stroll on conserve to the line. He's got plenty of time. He's got plenty of time to Albon behind him. Meanwhile,
Save fuel.
Okay.
as we come up to on the straight, we're going to go on to Harvest now
We just need
because
to
we're going to
charge
get the DRS. As we go down here, we're going to follow Albon all the way. Sebastian's going to have another half-hearted look, but back onto neutral. Just going to do this a few times just to get the ERS up, and then I'm going to properly put Sebastian on go for it to try and get him away from this Williams. Because how are the tyres looking? We're both at 45, so we're not saving until the end. We're going to be doing this all the way. It's actually 2 to go for the leaders, so on to Harvest now. As we come up to the DRS line, wing pops open. And Sebastian again is just going to have a half-hearted look down the inside. But again, we're just saving the ERS for the big push when we need it. Just going to save that ERS because I don't want to end up running out and being done at the line like we were last time. So there goes. There they go round the through the S's. As we come down the hill towards the back straight. Going to do the same again. Going to wait until Seb accelerates first, so he's sticking with Albon. Now go on to Harvest. Let the DRS pull us along. I know Sebastian won't go for the move. He pokes the outside, so... But that's not really going to do it. I'm going to go back to neutral. As they go through the last section. We're going to get, we're the ones getting a round of applause because we're the only ones racing at this moment. Apart from that massive pack ahead of Stroll. But it's the start of the last lap. Verstappen is now on the final lap.
This will be last lap.
As we go through these corners now. I'm going to click on the Harvest for Sebastian for one last time. Down this straight. Just save the ERS down the straight. And now back to neutral. So here we go. We're going to go through the S's down the back straight. It's the last for the last time. This is going to be where we make our move. So we're going to do what we've done before as soon as we go down the hill. And here we go. Attack. Plenty of ERS to deploy. So here we go now. We got the ERS to do it. Full power deploy. Full attack mode. Sebastian pulls out and he's going to go breezing past around the outside and into P17. We're going to leave him on deploy to the line. We're going to put him back to standard on his tyres so he doesn't cook them.
Just gained a race position.
But in the meantime, coming round the final corner, Max Verstappen is going to take the win of the United States Grand Prix. He wins his 5th race of the season now. Leclerc is going to come in second. And Sainz and Perez are going to fight this to the line for P3. Sainz is going to get down the inside, down the right-hander. And he's done it. He's back into P3. Is Perez going to poke his nose down the inside? Yes, he is. Perez is going to be down the inside. It's going to be a run to the line for both these guys. And Perez is going to get into the line. He does for P3. A fight to the line. Photo finish, but Perez just gets it by a 10th to Carlos Sainz. What a race here as Bottas is going to come through for P5 ahead of Gasly. Gasly couldn't hold on to that high points playing position, but Bottas, P5 for him, P6 for Gasly. Hamilton, what could have been if him and Russell hadn't spun out? Both Mercedes spun out of good positions there. P7 for Hamilton. P10 for Zhou. He's going to hold off Ricciardo to the line in P8, sorry. And he just holds him off. There you go. P9 there for Ricciardo. And Magnussen is going to lead this train. He's the one who's benefited. Norris and Alonso fought, but it's Magnussen who's going to get that last point for Haas ahead of Norris, Alonso, Tsunoda, Ocon, Russell. And then Stroll 16, Vettel 17. We got him ahead when we counted at the most. So we beat the Williams guys at the very least, but it was a bit of a struggle that we didn't need. Stroll definitely benefited there from the safety car, so splitting the strategy worked. One of our cars got ahead when we needed. But, yeah, it was both of our guys should have been up there, really. Unfortunately, Vettel got stuck fighting Albon the whole race, but we did beat Albon in the end, so no problems there. Final classification, as you can see, Verstappen wins the United States Grand Prix. Charles Leclerc gets P2 with the fastest lap. Sergio Perez, 15th up to 3rd. Sainz, 13th up to 4th. Bottas, Gasly, Hamilton, Zhou, Ricciardo, and Magnussen rounds out the top 10. Again, the Mercedes, what could have been, nearly all the people who served their grid penalties started down, apart from, as I said, luckiest man in the world, Max Verstappen. So we go through to the Drivers' Championship. Leclerc again builds up his lead over Carlos Sainz. He's now what looks to be 16 points ahead of Sainz in the championship. So all the momentum in the world with Charles Leclerc. Sainz has got to come back in Mexico swinging. But Verstappen, there it is, his 4th win of the season. Moves him comfortably ahead of Perez now. 25 points ahead of Sergio Perez in the championship. Hamilton secures his place in 5th still. Bottas pulls away from Russell and Alonso, so Alfa Romeo got a good head of momentum going. Then we got Gasly's moved back ahead of Ocon in the championship. And then we got Zhou just still knocking on the door. He's getting there ever so slowly. And then Magnussen and Ricciardo on the round out that screen. No changes in the constructors, obviously, but AlphaTauri, with some more good points, have solidified their place in 6th, ahead of McLaren and Haas. Alpine, they've pretty much secured 5th place. Alfa Romeo, I think Alfa Romeo, Alpine and AlphaTauri, a lot of A's there. They're all locked in their positions, along with Mercedes, so not much is going to change there. And then Red Bull and Ferrari further up here. Ferrari are 688, so they're 131 points ahead of Red Bull. So one more good result in the next race, and I think that will seal out the constructors for Ferrari, the first time since 2008, I believe that is, in this alternate universe. But as for now, we did the best we could. We got a development point for Stroll and one for Jack Doohan as well. So Jack's coming on quite strong. So hopefully, if we could get more of his stats up, he should be ready for a drive with us. So yeah, everything is pretty much as is with all of that. Sebastian got his bonus, so he's no doubt happy. But yeah, I wanted to keep Sebastian for definite. Weather Centre refurbish is now complete. So that's one of them at least. But yeah, as things stand at the moment, we're next weekend, as we get up to Mexico, by the time we get to practice, we'll have the design centre. And hopefully... Yeah, sorry guys, little bit of technical issue with... if you notice the cut, there was a technical issue that I had. I had to put that away. Cut that out. So yeah, for now we've only got 4 days until Mexico, so for now guys, we're going to round off the episode there. If you did enjoy the episode, do feel free to leave a like and a comment. It always helps. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't end up missing another video. I'm losing track of my words here. I'm David Clayton of KZR Racing, and we'll see you next time for the Mexican Grand Prix. Goodbye.